always feel like I talk too much. But anyway.
But let me continue.
I can keep talking about books. That's fine.
Welcome back to Bookstore Bitches. Mm-hmm. We are doing a book talk today, this week. Mm-hmm. So we are done with our first book. We're going to talk about some current reads and pick
and
our
whatever
April
else we
book.
feel like talking about in between. So we'll see what happens.
Doesn't it feel like it's been basically
it's a free-for-all
since we read House of Hollow?
Yeah, it feels like forever. It really does.
So last year.
Yes.
All right, so want to start this off with our current reads or recent reads? New recommendations?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, okay, so...
Or do we want to talk about your move first? Because you're in a different place, Amy.
I am in a different place. We don't need to, give them the whole download, but I am now in Wisconsin. So for those of you that watched our last one, you saw me recording in my super empty room with a super janky setup. And I apologize for the disrupted audio. But yeah, so I'm here now. I've got my new setup and I'm getting situated. It was a long 3-day drive across the country. And it was snowing and raining at the same time when we got in late on Friday night. So that was a fun welcome. But no, it's good. It's weird, but
that's Wisconsin for you. Show up to the slate.
Yeah. Yep, pretty much. So I'm still like processing everything that is happening, and like, I don't know. I've just been doing so much for the past however many weeks now that I'm not sure what's happening. So this is why I look like this, and I don't know, might ramble and not make sense because I'm a little fried, but I'm here and I'm excited to see you guys because I miss you so much already.
It's only been a week and it feels like so much longer.
I know, I miss you too.
But at least we get to do this, so.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
If I don't think about it, it's almost like nothing has changed.
True.
I'll just live in a bubble over here. Makes me feel better.
Rose's little world.
Yeah, you can just believe I'm still there. It's across the city. So let's talk about what we're reading. What's everyone reading right now?
All right. I have a wide variety of things that I'm reading because, as you all know, I read more than one book at a time. But I have been obsessed with what's on my e-reader lately to the point where I've kind of avoided everything else, which never happens. And I'm reading a fan fiction. I never, ever read fan fictions. I just don't. I don't like them. To each their own. This is fantastic. So, was it last podcast? One of our podcasts, you shouted out somebody
Lauren's
on TikTok.
Little Library.
Something Little Library. What is it?
Mm-hmm.
Lauren's Little Library. How dare you, Lauren's Little Library? Because now I'm obsessed with this. It's called Manacled. I forget who the author is. I'm so sorry. I will look into it and we can link it. And it's a Draco and Hermione fan fiction from Harry Potter. But Harry Potter's dead. It's wild, guys. It's wild and it's super long. I'm 35% of the way through.
It is very long.
I read it.
A lot of people have had it like printed and actually like, what do you call it? Bound into a book.
There's no hard copies.
There are no hard
copies
online.
Okay,
well, you can find some that have been like independently published and bound, and they've all been gorgeous. Every one that I've seen, they're huge, but they're gorgeous.
Okay.
Yes. And it is worth the hype. Listen, like I said, I don't usually read fan fiction, but I saw like TikTok after TikTok after TikTok of her talking about them. So finally I was like, what is this thing? And I started it, and I'm telling you, I'm also halfway through the second Crescent City, and it's just sitting on my nightstand because I'm only wanting to read this Manacled thing, which, by the way, is by Senlinyu.
That's the Archive of Our Own username. Yes. Archive of Our Own is the fan fiction site. And I believe Senlinyu is her username. So that will go on to Archive of Our Own, A03. Type that in, you'll find it. I'll probably put a link in the description of the video.
I could be tired, but I feel like I'm in like a Twilight Zone right now because I have absolutely no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Well, you don't read fan fiction.
I don't, but like the Archive of Our, like I have no idea what's happening.
I knew nothing. I knew nothing until this TikTok happened, and I follow her. I joined her Discord, where she talks even more about it, and other people are now rereading Manacled with her, like they're doing a buddy read. And there are, in the comment section, step-by-step instructions on how to get to this fan fiction, because I didn't know what I was doing. And I learned how to put it on my Kindle, and there it is. And like I said, I'm reading it at work on my breaks. I can't get enough of it. And it's not even that steamy yet. I'm waiting for it to get steamy, and it's not. Like, but it's so well written. Like, this person should have it, like,
I don't think she
actually
can because of
printed. It's so good.
Like, copyright stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, listen. She should... I would love for her to, like... I don't even know if it's her. Whoever this author is. Whoever they are, I would love for them to write something of their own.
I feel like that totally whenever I read fan fiction, I will find somebody that I really like or a series that I really like. And it's never finished. Any fan fiction I find that I like, it's never a complete series. And I always get upset and I always go back to that username. So if you're a fan fiction writer, just assume that I have read your work and I love it and you need to write more because I'm upset because you haven't finished it. Just assume, because that's everything that I've read on AO3. So write more if you're a writer. Do it. I'm
good to know.
That's
PSA.
amazing. You have to give me some other recommendations, because
most of the other ones I've read are from A Court of Thorns and Roses, so you need to read it first. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, I can't read that yet. Yes. Speaking of A Court of Thorns and Roses, like I said, I'm halfway through House of Sky and Breath, Crescent City. A little over halfway through. I promise you, hold me to it, guys. You all out there, hold me to it. This will be out after tomorrow, but tomorrow I have off. I'm just gonna...
I thought you were going to binge that
just
manga.
Read Crescent City and try and get it done.
Oh.
So, see,
it's
here you go. So I said, I don't believe you. You're already full of shit. She's going to read House of Sky and Breath after she reads the manga.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to make a cup of coffee and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to read, I don't even know what it is. Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight,
picture,
Volume
photographic
1.
proof. Coffee,
yes,
coffee and manga.
Yeah.
That I'm reading it. Yes.
And
I will do that. I will post it on a reel on Instagram too. So you can all see it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I will...
I'm going to be at work, so you have fun doing that. I'll be at work not enjoying myself, probably.
I'll be doing things around here, so I'm going to check up on you.
Oh, work's fun. You'll have fun.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. Will I finish Crescent City? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. That's a lot to do in one day.
Yeah.
Meh.
I need to eat and do things, But these two books, I will not pick up Manacled tomorrow.
We'll see how strong-willed you are.
I am actually reading nonfiction for the first time ever. I'm reading the 1619 Project by various authors. It was originally published by the New York Times Magazine, and it's a lot of articles, historical articles, short stories, a few poems, and a lot of photography and artwork about the African American and their struggles with enslavement and how they are the backbone of our country, which is 100% true. Like, American capital would not exist if it wasn't built on enslaved people. But they don't get the credit they deserve in our culture and are still struggling to this day. Like, they were enslaved longer than they were free. And I think that most people in today's society should read this book, especially with the whole like Black Lives Matter thing that happened and all of the deaths that have occurred recently at the hands of people who are supposed to protect our citizens. So yeah.
Can I ask why you picked this up since you're not a nonfiction reader?
So
was it for school
or
did you just pick it up on your own?
From the New York Times. And then I just decided to keep reading, and I'm reading the whole thing now. So
yeah, it's one of the next ones that I'm reading for sure. And that's another
cool.
book to read if you're interested in just learning more and educating yourself. The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin, which I talked about on a previous podcast, but that book was like so impactful to me. And I just highly, highly, highly recommend that everyone read it as well.
I'm writing that down. I know you talked about it before, but then I had forgotten what it was.
It's really
called.
short. It's really short. You'll breeze through it. I think it's only like maybe just a little over 100 pages or something. But just in those 100 pages, so much is said. So yeah, definitely necessary reading.
Yeah, it's added to my list now. I might need a breather after the 1619 project.
Yeah.
So I might take a little bit of break. It's long and it's heavy. There's a lot in there. It's very good though. Very good. And then on a more uplifting note, I'm also reading Mr. Wrong Number, which is a rom-com, because I almost always have a rom-com on audiobook for my commute because I can't listen to anything serious when I am driving because I get distracted. So I'm listening to Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. And it's all right. I'd give it probably 3. The main characters got like serious bad luck. She is probably the craziest person I've ever heard about. It starts off with her burning down her entire apartment building and then like also getting fired from her job, and her boyfriend cheats on her. Like, she's got some bad luck. Okay. But then ends up getting with her brother's best friend because it's a rom-com and that's what happens. Yeah. I'm not done with it yet. It's pretty good so far. Like, it's giving what I wanted for a commute rom-com.
Okay.
And then for the physical book that I'm reading is The Wolf and the Woodsman.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. This has been really good so far. It is based on Hungarian mythology and lore, which
I got the advanced reader of that one like ages ago.
Did you?
I haven't read it yet. Yeah.
It's been so good. I'm not very far into it because I've had a lot of schoolwork going on. But so far, it's been really good. And it uses language from, like, I think it's Hungarian, because I've had to look up some of the words in the dialogue, because it's definitely not English. And the lore and the, like, gods that it mentions. It's also, like, a kind of a religious war going on between them, because there's the wolf girl, who is a pagan, and then the woodsman, who is not really a pagan. It draws ties to like Catholicism, but I can't pronounce what the name of his religion is. There's a lot of letters and it starts with P, and whenever I'm reading I just kind of skip over words that I don't know how to pronounce.
Okay.
But it's good.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and those are my 3 reads right now.
All right, fantastic. I have been a little distracted lately, so I haven't read a ton, but I started this one, The Anomaly by Hervé Letellier. And I'm only like 60 or so pages in, but so far so good. It's a mystery thriller, but also just regular fiction, sort of. It's like, I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of like changing right now, but it's been multiple points of view so far. Like every chapter is a new perspective of this kind of same situation. Of some, I don't know. I'm very intrigued. I really don't know what's happening and where it's going yet, but so far so good. I love the writing. And then next on my list is this Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. And that one is a novel of the plague. And I think you said, Steph, that it's about Shakespeare's family. Is that right?
That was a potential book for our next read for the April Book Club. That was one of the contenders, but it got knocked out before the top 5. So
yeah, so I just wanted to read it on. I was like, well, I still just really want to read it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so speaking of which, the April pick, do we want to do that now?
We can do that now. It's actually a tie between The Paris Apartment by
Lucy Foley. Foley.
Lucy Foley.
Which one is that?
Is it Foley or Foley?
I could totally be wrong.
I was saying Foley, but
maybe it's Foley.
am notorious for saying things wrong. So
Foley, Lucy Foley. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. Sorry,
Lucy,
Lucy.
We're so sorry for butchering this.
Yes, so it's been a tie between Paris Apartment and If We Were Villains. So what we're gonna do is
Which is ML Rio, right?
Yes, ML Rio. We're going to roll a d20. And if it's even, if it is an even number, it's Paris Apartment. If it's an odd number, it's If We Were Villains.
Here we go. Drum roll, please.
15.
15. What was odd?
If We Were Villains. Ah!
I was like, wait.
I'm so excited.
Okay, If We Were Villains. Okay.
I already bought it.
Hey, I have that
I
right
don't
here.
have it yet, so
right
I have
here.
to go get it.
Well, you were working this week, so.
Mm-hmm.
I am really excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
I've really wanted to read it.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was down to 2 mystery thrillers, so like, but this one's Shakespearean.
Yeah, I was too.
I was
but ultimately,
happy
the more
way.
I learned about If We Were Villains, I was kind of like, even though I'm, initially was like Paris Apartment, ultimately I voted for that one. So I'm happy. I
was talking to one of my friends who read The Paris Apartment. She said she just finished it. And she was actually surprised because it was not like any other book by Lucy Foley that she had read. She said it was still good, but it was different. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, now I'm intrigued about that too. Well, damn it.
Too bad.
That's intriguing.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys, how am I going to read all of these books plus all of these books for class? Okay, I got to just find a way.
Yeah, same.
Find a way. I just want to, I wish you could just download, you know what I mean? Just, download the book. Just, have it in your brain.
So story time, and I swear this worked. I swear it worked. In school, I was an overachiever, and I was in a lot of extracurriculars because I'm a Virgo at heart. And there was this one time when I had a Spanish test at the end of the day, but I had no time to study, and I ended up taking my Spanish textbook with me up into choir on the risers, thinking that I was going to be able to cram while I was singing. I couldn't. So instead, I had to set it down.
You don't say.
So instead, I had to set it down, and I ended up standing on it, and then I got the best grade in my class on this Spanish test. So I swear, some osmosis, I absorbed it through my feet while I was singing in choir. So
I'm convinced. I'm just going to stand on my books.
So now you have to stand on all your books.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. I'll report back. I'll let you know how it goes. Okay. I know. I just wish I could do a Harry Potter spell. Absorbia, Bookia.
That was very bad.
That was bad.
That was bad. You couldn't have used Libra or something to make it a little fancy.
I don't, girl. You know what? I'm so tired. I don't even care what you say.
Or if I just have
I
like
like Absorbia Bookia. I think I like that.
Well, anyway. Back to our scheduled programming. I wanted to talk about three books that I'm super excited about. One I just finished. It's called Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. If you're on BookTALK, you've probably already seen it because it's been really big recently. But it is the first book in this new genre, cozy fantasy, which is amazing. So, like, you think about a cozy mystery and you think like a little mass market paperback with like a B&B on it with a little cat and like...
Or a cat, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Exactly. And this is a cozy fantasy. So there's like orcs and characters like that. And she starts a cafe in this small town that has never had coffee before and brings coffee to this town. And it's just super cute. It's sapphic and I loved it. It was great. I listened to the audiobook, which was narrated by the author, Travis Baldry, and it was great. It was really good. It was a good time.
That's cute. I have to check that out.
I love when authors do their own narration.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's
because they know exactly.
I was gonna say I'm a little. I mean, if the author's voice is icky, I don't want them to narrate it. But that's a good point too. That they know what the characters' names are. They're not gonna mispronounce anything. So.
For sure. That's always good with nonfiction books, I feel like, especially comedy authors. For instance, when we were in the car the other day and like just both my mom and I were so tired and trying to stay awake, we put on Tina Fey Bossy Pants. And just like listening to her, oh my god, it's just so funny. I love
Tina
listening
Fey is
to
hilarious.
Yeah, and like Chelsea Handler when she narrates her own books, like I just feel like it's so... Yeah, like you said, it's just more impactful when you get to hear it straight from them because they know exactly how they want to say it in the most like impactful way.
Yeah. So give it a listen, Legends and Lattes. I think I got it from the library, to be honest, from the San Diego Library, or I got it on Audible. I don't remember which one. It was one of those two.
I'll have to check it out. It sounds cute.
Yeah, it was great. It was really good.
I love that.
Well, I'm sure we'll see more in this genre now. So
yeah. I hope he writes more. Like even if it's not a sequel, just something else, you know. The cover releases for Once Upon a Broken Heart sequel, which is going to be The Ballad of Never After, which is going to come out in September. And then Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, which is the sequel to Ninth House, which are both books that I have read relatively recently, within the last few months, and I absolutely loved both of them. Both of them, by the end of it, I just wanted to pick up the sequel and keep reading, but I couldn't because it wasn't published yet. But now we've got those release dates, and we've got the cover releases. Hellbent's cover, I'm going to put it up in the video because it is creepy, which is perfect for the book. It is, but it's really pretty when you look at it for like a glance, like in your peripheral. It looks gorgeous. If you take a close look, you're like, what the fuck? And it's creepy. And I love it. And I'm super excited for it. I've been waiting for this. Like, I was waiting to read Ninth House because I wanted to wait until the sequel came out, but then I couldn't wait any longer, so then I read Ninth House, and now here we are.
That's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
Yeah, so it's
like a fairy tale.
It is.
It
so it's by
it sounds like it's...
I believe it's Stephanie Garber. It is in the same universe as the Caraval series. It almost has Alice in Wonderland vibes. It's not like Heartless, where it is literally Alice in Wonderland, but it's got those vibes, and it's written in that same sort of style. Once Upon a Broken Heart was the first one, and then The Ballad of Never After is going to be the second.
I wish I could read it. I don't know if maybe are you like a super fast reader, or you just are very like...
So this one reading? I had the audiobook and I had the physical book. So I did kind of both. So I was like listening to the audiobook while I was driving and when I was cooking and stuff like that. And then when I wanted to sit down, I just picked up where I left off with the audiobook. So it allowed me to read it a lot faster.
Gotcha.
But
I just feel like every week I know. I just feel like every week you're putting away
wish I
like
could
3 to
do
5
that.
books, and I'm like, what the actual fuck?
I also wasn't in school. I was on spring break at the time too, so I was reading a lot. So I'm definitely gonna have to kick it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Now that
No, I'm
school
envious.
started.
I wish I could do that.
I can't go from an audiobook to a physical book back to an audiobook for the same story. I can't. I don't know why.
I love doing
So I'm very
that,
envious of you
because
for
there's
doing
sometimes where like I'm in the story still and I just want to keep reading, but I feel weird just like listening to the audiobook and staring up into space. Like I feel like I need a puzzle or a coloring book or something. Also because I have ADHD, so if I'm only listening to something and not doing something else, like I can't just sit there and do nothing. But for some reason, when I'm reading a book and it's like I'm holding something and my eyes are doing something and my brain is doing something, like reading books, I can sit and do that. I don't know why. I don't know how my brain works. But
That's cool. I mean, I could probably do that if I listened to audiobooks instead of podcasts all the time, because I'm just always listening to podcasts.
yeah. If you want to put more books, like knock more books out, you need to do some audiobooks.
I know. I just like, my problem is that I get distracted either by just, looking around, whatever I'm doing, or I just like start thinking on top of what I'm listening to. So with podcasts, it doesn't matter if I miss something or, but like with books, I'll just like be doing, I don't know, I'll just kind of like drift out. And then I'm like, oh, wait, shit. Like, what
That's why I
happened?
can only do certain genres for audiobooks. I can't do fantasy or sci-fi for audiobooks. I just can't. But some fiction books I can, and then most mystery thriller or romance I can.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, mystery, thriller, and romance are my go-to for audio. And I only listen to audio on my way to work. That's it. If I'm not going to work that day, I'm not listening to an
I'm gonna have to
audiobook.
figure that out. I don't know.
Now that we have our April pick, I guess we will go through as a group and see how we're going to break it down, and we'll put that on our social after
On
this
Tuesday, yeah.
podcast goes live, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yes.
This is exciting. I'm excited to start a new book.
I've been wanting to read this one for a while.
I'm
now,
excited,
so now
yeah.
I have a reason. I don't need a reason, but I have something making me read it.
Same. It's been on my TBR for, I think, since it first came out. Honestly, it's been there for quite some time.
All your dreams are coming true.
It is, and the author has worked in bookstores and theaters for years and holds a master's degree in Shakespeare studies from King's College.
It's gotta be
London.
good. Yeah.
All right. Well, this is exciting stuff, guys. If we were villains, here we go.
I'm super excited. I'll put it in the description of this video, the breakdown.
Okay.
And we can post it on
Okay.
social media too, like we did for House of Hollow.
Thanks. All right, cool. Yeah, so then that way everyone has a week to get the books and read the first
section.
the book and read the first section.
Yep.
Myself included. I need to get the book. So I will get on that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not saying that you have to go out and like buy a book to read with us. Like library's an option, ebooks are an option, audiobooks, like obviously I'm an audiobook reader. I am also an ebook reader. I have like 400, 500 ebooks on top of the books on my shelf. So we're trying to be all inclusive, I don't want money to be an issue. If you need to get it from the library, then you can always wait also and just not watch the first video until you are able to get it from the library or something like that.
Thank you guys for joining us and listening to this week's Book Talk. We have announced the book club pick for next month, or this month / next month, however long it takes us, which is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. So we will post this on Tuesday along with the first chapter breakdowns, and you'll have about a week to get the book and read that first section. Unless, of course, it takes you longer, then you can just listen to our podcast anytime. But if you're following along with us. And that's it. Everybody have a fantastic week and read some good stuff, and we'll see you back here.
All right.
Okay?
Bye.
Love you guys. Mwah! Miss you.